All right, well, welcome you guys. My name is Kim Evans, and I have an opportunity to welcome you to Renatus. And I'm going to make a couple of assumptions here as we get going and get you started on your quick start training right here for IMAs. One of those is that you've already been able to sit down with your enroller and enroll yourself as an IMA with Renatus. So that's one assumption. And the other assumption I'm going to make is that you really want to learn how to quick start your business, to get started right away and to get right on the path that others like you have taken, learn from everybody in the past and move forward as quickly as possible, right? So sometimes we get started and we say, hey, I just want to start from point A to point B and start making money as quickly as possible. That's what I'm going to assume that you want to do, right? And so what we've done here with the quick start training is just taken all of the knowledge of those who've built businesses before and who are currently building businesses. And instead of having you take, the long way around and trying new things and going off in all different kind of directions, how about if we just give you the same system that has produced great results before? So instead of the top line, we're going to go ahead and go on the bottom line and just give you from point A to point B as quickly as possible. And I'm going to encourage you to kind of come to this training and to your business with the attitude of, you know what, I'm a blank slate. Just teach me how to put one foot in front of the other, teach me the process that I should go through and that will get me from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So that's the assumption I'm going to make, okay? So there will be times in your business where you look like this, right? Where you feel super frustrated, where you're like, what does that mean? How do I do this? Or whatever. It might be frustrating. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is, where do I go? Where do I go for information? Well, besides the other tools that I'm going to give you, which I'm going to give you a lot of tools to plug into, but really that is your 5-star affiliate. That's the first person that you would want to go to say, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? What's the next step on this part? And if you don't know who your 5-star affiliate is, you can ask. Whoever enrolled you is called your enroller. They may or may not be your 5-star affiliate. And let me just give a little bit of a definition of a 5-star affiliate or a 5-star enroller. And that would be somebody who, with our compensation plan, is in a position to be earning those $1,000 to $10,000 checks. They've built a business to the point where they are in a full commission earning position, and they've had some experience. And that's really all it is. There's nothing different between you and your 5-star affiliate except some time and some effort and learning along the way, right? So what if they can't answer the question, what if you need more help with that? Well, go to their 5-star affiliate, right? And what if you're not, clear on something? You can go to their 5-star affiliate. And what I would recommend is, as soon as you have time, to sit down with your enroller or give them a call or a text and say, hey, who's our 5-star affiliate? Who's their 5-star affiliate? And so on, so that you kind of know, have those tools and those resources of where to go to get information. Because you know what, we're here to support. We're here to support each other. We're here to really, that 5-star affiliate and those 5-star affiliates, they have a direct interest in your success. They absolutely want to see you succeed. And so that's really the first place that you would go to get information if you have questions about something, okay? So what does that look like? What is the system? You're like, okay, great. That's the basics. But let's give me some kind of nitty gritty of how do I plug in to the information and the systems? Because it's really all about information, gathering the information, and then applying it. I would say in a simple term that that's what you're looking to do, okay? So the first thing that you're going to want to do, and you can do it right now, you can pull out your phone even as you're watching this webinar, and I would recommend that, and get plugged into our texting system, because you're going to get, on average, about 1 text a day. It's not going to be overwhelming, but it's going to keep you plugged in to what's happening in the local area, okay? And the way that you do that is you just pull out your phone and you text 20K per month to 41411. An automatic response is going to come back to you, and go ahead and just respond yes to that. and you're going to be plugged in and you'll start getting those texts. So that's a really easy way to start getting that information. The second one is team emails, okay? And if you just go to www.ourepictools.com, you'll be able to enroll yourself into our team emails. And just rest assured that, that's not getting sold anywhere. I mean, there's not going to be other kinds of spam and things you're going to be getting from that. But it will allow you to really be plugged in with any emails and things that we send out with details of events coming up and things like that. So it's just for our team's use. And we have, IMAs all across the country, really. And it's a great way for us to be able to plug everybody into the same information and to get you that very quickly. So those two systems are going to be the basics that, we're going to build on with this information system, okay? The next thing that we do is a weekly team call. And it's on Tuesday morning at 7:05 a.m. and it lasts about a half an hour. And that's 7:05 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so wherever you are across the country, you may need to adjust that time, but it's literally something where you can just call in and listen. If you're at work, some of our team members are at work and they're able to just listen to that call or something. But it does two things really, really well. It gives us a touch point, a point to come together and to go over what's going to be happening for the next week, what things are available. Sometimes we have questions, people have questions that we can get answered on that, or we'll mastermind on that call. And then the second one is we have one of our team members do some training. And because we are a like-minded community, and we get to help lift each other and help give each other information about leadership and about our businesses, that's really going to move us to the next level. And so I would highly encourage you to put that into your calendar, put it into your schedule of events for the week. It's going to be a great, opportunity to get some good information there. Okay. The next thing is business center training. And honestly, I cannot emphasize this enough. Probably this is the one point where I get so many questions from IMAs, new IMAs and IMAs that might have been with us for a while, that if they had taken the time to really listen to and participate in this, it's about a 1.5 hour training, that those questions would be answered, right? And it's really a matter of just taking ownership of your business and really plugging into and learning for yourself the tools that Renatus has supplied really abundantly for us. And that is this business center training. It's a webinar that is once a week. It's held once a week. It's a live webinar. So if you have questions and things like that, you can get them answered in real time. It's designed to be a one and done proposition. So if you really dig in and go to that webinar, probably you'll only have to do it once, but you can repeat it. Some of us, we all learn differently. And so that's part of taking ownership of our business too, is understanding how do you learn and what do you need to do to get that information. But so if it's one time or if it's 2 or 3 times, it's perfectly okay. But that webinar is accessed at 4 p.m. Pacific time on a computer. It's bdg.adobeconnect.com/national. And Nancy Rowe, or one of her team members, is really generous with their time, and they take the time to go through your business center, and that is your back office and your Renatus website, where you log into your own business center, and you can see all of the tools that are available there and all of the options of training. There is so much there in addition to our education, which is phenomenal. So that's what that is. I really encourage you just to pull out your calendar, put that into the next Tuesday coming up, and just get that one done and really dig into that information so you know what's available for you. Okay, the next one is the 10-step training. And this is a training on marketing. Now, we have an incredible CEO and founder of Renatus, which is Bob Snyder. But what he really is, he is a master marketer. And he has taken the time to do 10 full videos where he goes through step-by-step a marketing plan and a marketing training that is so valuable, and it's just given to us as part of that investment that we've made into our business, that $125 we've invested to become an IMA. I would definitely take advantage of this. Take advantage of Bob's training. And the way that that's accessed is you click, you go into your back office, you click on the training tab, and then the 10-step training, and all those videos are there. And so I would highly recommend that as well as one of the first steps that you take as you're starting your marketing business. Then we have, it's Monday through Friday, something called the impact call. And I put /webinar because it's the same meeting, but it can be accessed either through a phone call or through a webinar. And that is a phenomenal kind of national team webinar or call that's held Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday. It's held at 6 a.m. Pacific time, so across the country, kind of adjust for your time zone. But that is done either by Scott Rowe or one of the other national leaders. And it is a fantastic training. I would definitely recommend getting on that. Again, it's something you can just plug into either on your phone or through the webinar and just listen to that. And it really gives you a sense of the widespread, like-minded mastermind and group and team that we have here at Renatus. And that's something that really expanded my vision when I started to understand it wasn't just the few people that were in my local area. It is a national team. And so you get to have that, feel that opportunity. And in addition, all the great training that's done on that call. So the information is right there to access it either on the phone or the webinar, and I would highly recommend putting that into your schedule as well. Okay. Then we have a couple of trainings on a weekly basis. Now this success webinar is really, really cool. It's another live webinar. It's on Monday afternoon at 4 o'clock Pacific time. Again, adjust depending on what time zone you're in. But it's at 4 o'clock every Monday. It's only a half an hour, and it's where they highlight different Renatus students from across the country who've taken the information and the training through the Renatus system, the real estate classes, and shown what they have been able to put together in their real estate portfolio, their real estate projects. And so this one is all about real estate. But how cool is it to be able to, it's a great place to plug in prospects as they're going, well, geez, what can I do with, what is possible with the Renatus education as far as real estate goes, because that's really what the education is about. Or, for yourself, to get ideas, to spark ideas, and to really connect with people from across the country. I've gotten to know people across the country through these webinars. And, then when we see them live, when we meet at a leaders retreat or a national, at nationals, and I feel like I know them, right? Because I know their story, I've heard their struggles, and I've seen what they've been able to accomplish. And that's really, really cool. So I would recommend utilizing that. It's bdg.adobeconnect.com/success. And it is 4 o'clock p.m. every week on Monday on Pacific time. So that's that. Then on Monday night as well, Bob Snyder does a national training called the Founders Webinar. He's the founder of Renatus, and he does a webinar every Monday evening at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Again, adjust across the country for your time zone. But that you will be receiving corporate emails from Renatus Corporate. And in there, when they're announcing this webinar, it'll have a link to click on, and you can go in there. It's an hour long, and you can really see, Bob does a great job of highlighting, different IMAs from across the country who are really being successful. He does a great job of showing the teams that are growing and things like that. And then he does a fantastic training. Every single week it's different and brings on different trainers for that. But I would highly recommend plugging into that as well, putting that into your schedule as well, Monday evenings, okay? So those are some of the specifics, but in general, I just kind of want to go over the idea of you investing time in your business. What does that look like for you? You're going to have to decide that. But taking ownership of your business, understanding what your goals and priorities are, and it might help you to sit down with you, that 5-star mentor, that 5-star affiliate, and saying, hey, can you help me talk through my goals? Help me put together a plan. What should I do first? And that's everything from which real estate classes should I watch first? Or what should I focus on in my marketing? Sit down with them. You schedule a time with them. Reach out to them and say, hey, do you have a half an hour? Do you have an hour in your schedule in the next week or two where we can sit down and go over my business plan? And so I would highly recommend that. But then it's up to you to really implement that, to invest that time and that energy into your classes, into the real estate, into the Renatus classes with your essentials, with your AIT. Spend some time in your business center. You've already gone through, hopefully, that training on Tuesday afternoon with your business center training. But really, there is so much meat in there and so much opportunity that the more familiar you become with that, the more you can use it as a tool. And then the events that are put on. We have events that I'm going to kind of go over the schedule of what that looks like on a weekly, monthly, and yearly basis here in just a moment. But those events are all about supporting your business, okay? Whether they're local or whether they're across the country, those are tools that you'll want to use and integrate into your marketing business because they're opportunities and they're designed specifically for different reasons to introduce your guests in a systematic way to what we do. And what we've done is we've followed in the footsteps of people who have built very large and strong organizations within the Renatus IMA system, right? Becoming a marketing affiliate and putting the systems together where people are effectively taken through that process to be able to make that buying decision and to join your team. That's what those events are designed to do, and that's what they've proven effective. And so we're just following in the footsteps of people who have gone before us, okay? And here's one more tool that we're going to look at is what are you reading? What are you putting into your mind? I would really encourage you to spend 15 minutes, a half an hour every single day, whatever that is in your plan, to really invest in your thinking, And these 5 books right here are a great place to start if you don't have any, if you're like, I don't know what I should be reading. Well, these are, Think and Grow Rich, 3 Feet from Gold, How to Win Friends and Influence People, The Magic of Thinking Big, and The Slight Edge. Those are some fantastic places to start, and then to go from there, you could ask, again, your 5-star mentor if you wanted more help with, that, or, but I would really encourage you to be thinking about, what are you putting in your mind? It can be audible, it can be, read from a tangible book, but whatever it is, what are we putting in our minds and really investing in that, okay? And this kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, is the system. The local, regional, and national events that we have looks like this, okay? So weekly, we have our Founders webinar on Mondays. We have also our Success webinar on Mondays as well. We have our team call on Tuesday morning. And we have, on Thursday, we have IMA training that is held in our Murrieta office at 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. right before our Thursday night briefing, and then we have our Thursday night briefing from 7 to 8:30. So that's on a weekly basis. I would really highly recommend hitting all of those events because that is going to build your foundation, on a weekly basis. On a monthly basis, we have Super Saturday that typically, it's almost always on the first Saturday of the month here in our Murrieta office. Typically on the third Saturday, we'll have either a house tour or we'll have an intensive where we bring in one of the instructors from our Renatus classes and they do a training. And again, those are fantastic, fantastic opportunities to bring your guests to come and see a house tour, to come and see a project that's being done, or to come and get a test drive with one of the Renatus instructors. That's what they're designed for. And then once a month we have a cash flow game. That's Robert Kiyosaki's board game. That it was his first product actually that he introduced because he wanted to have people have an opportunity to learn investing principles in a fun way. And so we play that once a month. It's on the second Wednesday of the month at 7 o'clock right here in our Marietta office. And all of the events that I just mentioned, with the exception of cash flow, we don't do that, but we stream live across the country all of these other events that we do in our office because our team is growing, right? And we want to be able to support that and to be able to have everybody plug into the same information. Well, on an annual basis, what does that look like? Okay. Well, ATM training. ATM training is advanced training for marketers, and we'll hold an ATM training 2 to 3 times a year. And it is a 5-week training. Every time we do it, it's a 5-week training. It's an intensive training. And we have our PAC member, Richard Stock, who does that training. Why? Because he has not only himself made a very, very significant, created a very significant 6-figure marketing business, but he's also trained a large majority of the high income earners in Renatus. And that is the training that he has used as he's trained his IMAs. And so again, going back to that first slide, what is the fastest way from point A to point B, right? And I would say ATM training is a really big part of that. So be watching for that to be coming up on the dates that'll be announced. But that's something that I would highly recommend that you put into your calendar. And we have nationals in the winter. Sometime in the winter, February, March sometime, we have nationals. And that's an opportunity where as a nation, we get to come together as a Renatus Nation, we call it, come together near the corporate offices in Layton, Utah, is where we've had it in the past. And we all come together and we're trained by Bob Snyder and the people that he puts on stage to train us. And that's a phenomenal way to get to know and network with people across the country who are, again, like-minded and excited about building their Renatus business. Okay, in the summertime, we have an opportunity to attend a leadership retreat. And that's in a phenomenal, different location every year. This year, we're going to Cancun and to a 5-star resort there, all inclusive. And it's just a phenomenal time to be able to, again, network with and let our hair down and play a little bit after working really hard all year long. And that's typically in the summer. And then in the fall, we have our regional trainings. And that's where, for Southern California, we'll come together as a Southern California group and team and be able to have a weekend where we train our team there. So I just giving you an idea of what those trainings look like, in a full picture. I hope that helps on a weekly, monthly, and annual basis, the system that's available to serve you and your business, okay? So here's the question I would ask you as we kind of wrap this up. Are you all in, right? It's when we come in and we get started with our Renatus business as an IMA, we're so excited because we see that other fishbowl, right? We're jumping out of the norm. We're jumping out of kind of the status quo, and we're taking a really big leap. And sometimes it can be uncomfortable. Sometimes it can feel a little odd or off. Just know that somebody is there. This team is there to help you along, to give you the tools that you need to succeed in your business. And that's really what this is all about. And so I just want to welcome you again. We're so glad that you've joined the team, that you've raised your hand, and that you said, you know what, yes, I want to have something different. I want to create something different for myself and my family. I just want to congratulate you on that decision.